Have you ever had that moment when your ex, the one who walked away, the one who broke you, suddenly comes back? Maybe it's a late-night message, a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Or maybe they go straight for it. "I miss you. I've changed. I want another chance." At first your heart stops. For a second you wonder, is this it? Is this what I've been waiting for? But deep down, you feel it. Something isn't right. Because if they really loved you, if they truly valued you, why did they let you go in the first place? Why did it take losing you for them to realize what they had? And here's where most people make the biggest mistake. They take their ex back too easily. They're so overwhelmed with emotion, so caught up in the idea of finally getting what they wanted, that they forget one crucial thing. A second chance is not a free pass. When you take them back without hesitation, without questions, without making them prove themselves, you send a message that they can leave and return whenever they want, that your love comes without conditions, that your self-worth is negotiable, and that can cost you everything: your self-respect, your dignity, your peace. Because what happens if they walk away again? What happens if they repeat the same patterns? You'll be left in the exact same place, only this time it'll hurt even more. Because now you knew better. You see, missing someone isn't the same as valuing them. Wanting someone back isn't the same as being ready for them. And saying, "I've changed," isn't the same as proving it. People say a lot of things when they're afraid of losing you, but words don't mean anything without action. So, before you even consider letting them back into your life, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, do they truly deserve another chance? Not based on their words, not based on nostalgia, not based on the loneliness you might feel in this moment, but based on their actions, their growth, their willingness to be different this time. The only way to find out? Ask them these 5 questions, questions that will reveal their true intentions, questions that will show you whether they've actually changed, or if they're just trying to get you back for their own comfort. Because if they can't answer them honestly, if they hesitate, if their words feel empty, then maybe they don't deserve you back. Before we dive into the video, I want you to write this affirmation in the comments. I deserve love that doesn't need second chances. Number 1, what do you want from me? Is it love, or is it loneliness? Do they want you, or just the comfort of what you gave them? This is the question that can expose everything, because an ex who truly wants you back isn't just coming back to escape their own emptiness. They're coming back because they have realized, through deep self-reflection and genuine growth, that losing you was the biggest mistake they ever made. But that's the thing, realization and regret are not the same as change. Missing someone doesn't mean they value them. Wanting someone back doesn't mean they're ready for them. If they truly loved and valued you, why did it take losing you for them to figure that out? What exactly are they looking for now? Reconciliation or relief from their own discomfort? Because there's a difference between wanting you and wanting what you gave them. People often mistake loneliness for love, but love isn't about filling a void. Love isn't about seeking comfort from someone just because life feels empty without them. If your ex is coming back just because they miss you, that's not enough. If they're only returning because they don't like the silence, because their bed feels too big, because no one else treats them the way you did, that's not love. That's fear. And when someone comes back out of fear, not out of deep appreciation, they're only looking for a temporary fix. Once they feel comfortable again, once the pain of being alone fades, the cycle will start all over. That's why you must ask them, what do you want from me? Their answer will reveal everything. An ex who truly wants you will respect your boundaries. They won't push you into an instant decision. They won't manipulate you with guilt or nostalgia. They won't try to erase the past with empty promises. Instead, they will understand that trust is something to be rebuilt, not demanded. They will not just tell you they've changed, they will prove it with consistency, patience, and action. But an ex who just wants comfort will rush you. They will say whatever they think you want to hear. They will try to fast-track the reconciliation because they're not focused on you, they're focused on escaping their own loneliness. If you let them back in too easily, if you don't make them work for it, you risk teaching them that they can come and go from your life whenever they please, that your love is unconditional, no matter how they treated you before, that your worth is something they can take for granted. You need to ask yourself, if they truly loved you, wouldn't they have realized your value before losing you? Wouldn't they have fought harder before walking away? Wouldn't they have chosen you when it actually mattered? A person who genuinely wants to be with you will never make you feel like an option. They will never put you in a position where you have to question whether their feelings are real. They will never come back just because they need you. They will come back because they choose you. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a person perfected without trials." In the same way, love that hasn't been tested, love that hasn't gone through growth and change, is just an illusion. If they cannot give you a clear, honest answer to this question, if they hesitate, if their words feel rehearsed, if their reasoning is rooted in fear rather than love, then maybe the real question is, do you even want them back? Now, I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am not someone's comfort zone. I am someone's choice. Number 2, how will you rebuild trust? Trust was broken, whether they lied, cheated, made empty promises, or simply walked away when you needed them most. Something happened that made you stop believing in them. And here's the truth. Love alone doesn't fix trust. Love is easy to say. Love is easy to feel in the moment. But trust is built through action, through consistency, through time. If your ex is telling you they want another chance, the real question is, how will you prove to me that I can rely on you again? Because words mean nothing without proof. Anyone can say, I've changed. Anyone can promise, it won't happen again. But what happens when things get difficult? What happens when old patterns try to creep back in? A person who has truly changed doesn't just say the right things, they do the right things, even when no one is watching. Trust isn't something that magically returns just because they want it to. It's something they have to earn. And if they don't have a clear, solid answer to how they plan to do that, you have your answer. Because someone who genuinely understands the damage they caused will also understand that an apology isn't enough. They will know that trust is not given, it's rebuilt. An ex who truly values you will not rush you into forgiveness. They will not pressure you to move on just because they feel guilty or uncomfortable. They will not demand that you trust them again simply because they say they've changed. Instead, they will take full accountability. They will acknowledge what they did, without excuses, without shifting blame, without trying to rewrite history. And most importantly, they will show you day by day that they are different. Their actions will align with their words. They will be transparent, patient, and willing to prove themselves without expecting immediate rewards. Because someone who truly cares about you doesn't just want to win you back, they want to make things right. But an ex who hasn't really changed, they will get defensive. They will try to downplay what happened. They will tell you that you need to let go of the past or stop overthinking. They will act as if trust is something you owe them instead of something they have to earn. They might even get frustrated, making you feel guilty for not instantly believing in them again. But here's what you need to remember. If they truly respected you, they would respect the time it takes to rebuild what they broke. You cannot love someone into being trustworthy. You cannot rebuild trust for them. That is their responsibility, and if they are not willing to put in the effort, then you already know how this story ends. Because a person who truly regrets breaking your trust will work hard to show you that they won't do it again. They will understand that trust is fragile, that once broken, it may never be the same. And if they are not willing to be patient, if they are not willing to consistently prove themselves, then they are not ready to be in your life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." If your ex has truly changed, it will show in the way they handle your hesitation, in the way they respond to your boundaries, in the way they prove, through action, that they are different. If they get frustrated, defensive, or impatient, then they were never serious about rebuilding trust in the first place. And if they cannot answer this question with honesty, depth, and a clear plan, then maybe the real question is, why would you risk trusting them again? Drop an affirmation in the comments. My trust is earned, not given. Number 3. What changed? Me, you, or just your feelings? People don't just wake up one day and decide they want their ex back. Something changed. But what was it? Did you suddenly become more attractive, more successful, more confident? Did they go through some kind of personal growth that turned them into the partner you always needed? Or did their feelings shift because they're lonely, jealous, or afraid of losing you for good? The answer to this question matters more than anything else. Because if nothing real has changed, then nothing real will be different this time. Love doesn't suddenly appear where it didn't exist before. A person who took you for granted, ignored your needs, or walked away from you once can do it again, unless something fundamental has shifted. So ask them directly, what's different? If they can't give you a clear, honest answer, then chances are they're only back because of temporary emotions, not true transformation. A person who has truly changed will be able to tell you how and why. They won't just say, "I miss you," or "I realize now how much I love you." They will acknowledge what went wrong, what they learned, and what they've done to make sure it never happens again. They will have real experiences, real growth, and real actions to back up their words. But someone who is just acting on impulse, their answer will be vague. They'll focus on how they feel rather than what they've done. They'll tell you they just know they want you back, but they won't be able to explain why they let you go in the first place. And if they don't understand what changed, how can they promise anything will be different? The truth is, people often come back not because they suddenly value you, but because they suddenly fear losing you. Maybe they saw you moving on. Maybe they realized you're no longer waiting. Maybe they thought they had time to explore their options, only to find out you were the best thing they ever had. But wanting you back out of regret, loneliness, or jealousy isn't the same as being ready for a real relationship. It's easy to feel something when you're afraid. It's easy to want someone when you think they might slip away. But relationships aren't built on fear. They're built on mutual love, respect, and real commitment. If they have truly changed, their actions will prove it before their words ever do. They won't just say they're ready. They will show you through patience, effort, and accountability. They won't pressure you into an answer because they will understand that real change takes time to prove. They will respect the fact that trust isn't rebuilt overnight, that words alone don't undo past mistakes, and that this time has to be different. But if they get frustrated when you ask this question, if they try to brush it off, act defensive, or make you feel guilty for not immediately believing them, then they're not back for the right reasons. They just don't like the idea of losing you. And there's a difference between missing you and being ready for you. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If their thoughts have truly changed, their actions will reflect it. But if they are still the same person, with the same mindset, making the same choices, then this is not a second chance. It's just a repeat of the past." So ask them, what really changed? And if the only answer they have is their feelings, then the only thing that will change again is their mind. I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I will not mistake loneliness for love. Number 4, what exactly do you regret? A real apology isn't just, "I miss you" or "I made a mistake." It's about understanding what went wrong. Regret without reflection is meaningless. So before you even think about giving them another chance, ask them, what do you actually regret? Do they regret hurting you, or do they regret losing the benefits of being with you? There's a difference between regretting the consequences of their actions and regretting their actions themselves. A person who only regrets losing you is thinking about themselves. A person who truly regrets hurting you is thinking about you. A real apology isn't about guilt, it's about responsibility. If they can't clearly explain what they did wrong, why they did it, and how they've changed since then, they're not ready to fix anything. Anyone can say, "I'm sorry," but what exactly are they sorry for? Are they sorry for how they treated you, or just sorry that they no longer have access to your love, care, and attention? Are they sorry for breaking your trust, or just sorry that their actions had consequences? If their regret is rooted in their own loss rather than in your pain, that's not accountability. That's selfishness. True regret means they've taken the time to reflect. It means they've looked back on the relationship, not just with longing, but with awareness. They've seen where they failed. They've understood the impact of their choices. They've recognized the moments where they let you down. And most importantly, they've made changes to ensure they don't repeat those same mistakes. Because regret without change is just manipulation. If they haven't learned, if they haven't grown, if they haven't done the inner work, then nothing is different, except the fact that they no longer have you. The way they answer this question will tell you everything. If they get defensive, if they minimize what happened, if they try to shift the blame onto you, then they don't truly regret their actions. They regret the outcome. If they say things like, "I just regret letting you go," or "I regret not fighting for us," that's not enough. What do they regret doing? What do they regret not doing? How do they plan to do better? If they can't give you specifics, if they can't take full accountability, then their regret is shallow and their apology is empty. A person who truly regrets hurting you will acknowledge the pain they caused, without excuses. They won't just say, "I never meant to hurt you," because intent doesn't erase impact. They will recognize that their actions, regardless of intention, caused real damage. They will understand that an apology is not about making themselves feel better. It's about showing you that they understand that they care, and that they are willing to take real steps to repair the harm they caused. And if they're not willing to do that, then what are they really asking for? A second chance, or a second opportunity to take you for granted? The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, A person who is not ashamed of their past has no reason to change their future. Regret should come with a deep understanding of the past, not just a wish to rewrite it. If they truly regret what they did, they won't just talk about it, they will show it in their actions, in their growth, in the way they carry themselves now versus who they were then. But if they can't explain what they regret with honesty, if they can't take full ownership of their role in what happened, then they're not ready for another chance. Because real regret isn't just about looking back. It's about making sure the same mistakes don't happen again. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I deserve an apology that comes with real change. Number 5. How do you see our future? If they say, I don't know, or let's just see what happens, they're not serious. A real partner has a vision for the future with you. If they don't, you're wasting your time. Love without direction is just a cycle of uncertainty. If they truly want you back, they should know why. They should know what they want, where this is going, and how they plan to make it work. If they're asking for another chance but they can't articulate a future with you, then they're not looking for a real commitment. They're looking for comfort. This question forces them to be clear. Do they see this as something real and long-term, or are they just trying to fill a void? A person who is serious about you won't be afraid to talk about the future. They won't dodge the question with vague answers. They won't say, let's just take it one day at a time, because they know that love without intention leads nowhere. The way they answer will show you whether they truly see you as their partner, or if they're just hoping to keep you around until they figure things out for themselves. A real relationship isn't just about feelings, it's about direction. Feelings can be strong, but without a shared vision, they won't take you anywhere. If they say they want you back but can't explain what they want this relationship to look like in 6 months, a year, or beyond, then what are they really offering? More of the same? More uncertainty? More confusion? Because if they couldn't commit before, why should you believe they're capable of committing now? If they've really changed, if they've really thought about what they want, then they should be able to give you a real answer. Not just a promise, not just words in the heat of the moment, but a clear vision of where this is going and how they plan to make it work this time. Love without direction is like a boat without a destination. It drifts aimlessly until it crashes. If they can't answer this question with clarity and confidence, they're not ready. If they hesitate, if they try to avoid it, if they say, I just want to be with you, isn't that enough? Then no, it's not enough. Because wanting someone and being ready for them are two very different things. You deserve a love that moves forward, not a love that keeps you in a loop of uncertainty. You deserve a partner who chooses you with intention, not one who holds on to you out of fear of being alone. A real partner makes plans. They don't just think about today, they think about forever. If they love you, if they value you, they should be able to answer this question without hesitation. They should be able to tell you how they've grown, how they'll make things different, and how they see you both building a life together. Because a second chance isn't just about fixing the past, it's about building a better future. And if they don't have a vision for that future, then what's stopping them from making the same mistakes all over again? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If they want to be with you, they should already have a plan for how to make it work. They should already have thought about the things that went wrong before and how to prevent them from happening again. They should already know what commitment looks like to them and how they plan to show up differently this time. If they can't answer this question with certainty, then they're not ready for you. Because love isn't just about wanting, it's about knowing, planning, and choosing. I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I deserve a love that has a future. Your ex may want you back, but that doesn't mean they deserve you back. You hold the power now. If they can't answer these 5 questions with clarity and honesty, then maybe your silence is the answer they need. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, never settle for less than you deserve.